Hello, welcome to IGTV. I'm Angeline Ong, and this is your look ahead to the 5th of March, Tuesday. Now, we start in Japan, where we've got inflation numbers. This is the CPI, core CPI, Tokyo core CPI that we're looking out for. Expectations 2.5% year on year for February. But the real forex kind of move, if you trade currencies, will come out of the United Kingdom, where we have the BRC retail sales monitor consensus for a year-on-year rise of 1.5% for February. We've also got new car sales as well, and that will give us an indication of the strength of consumption. Just looking at cable here, because we are seeing this trade in a channel which I've marked out for you. 12,502, 12,827 is where it is currently stuck at. But if I zoom in a little more and you look at my green lines, I've drawn a formation that shows you the consolidation of this cross. And look out for the volume side of things for a breakout. And if we break out from that channel, then perhaps we'll be looking at 12,827 as the next point of resistance. But right now, we are still waiting on that consolidation phase to break out. And of course, we also have the budget, which will be announced on Wednesday. That's what we're waiting on by Jeremy Hunt, the British Finance Minister. Further on in the week, we're looking out for the China Caixin Services PMI out of China. Expectations there for February, 52.4. That would be down from 52.7 in January if we get that reading. The Eurozone might also throw up some surprises in the form of the producer price index. And really, much of the action this week will come from the US, not just because there's a jobs report on Friday, but we're also waiting on several comments from Fed Chief Jerome Powell. He speaks multiple times this week. And we also have the ISM Services PMI, factory orders, API crude oil inventories, and total vehicle sales to boot. But it's really the ISM Services PMI that we are watching. Let's pull up the US 500 for you, because the US 500, like the NASDAQ, has seen such a climb, especially since October. But in the near term, if I can show you my hourly chart, it looks like it is still melting upwards. And if you broaden that out to a weekly chart, you'll see what I mean by that melt up, because everyone thought that perhaps October was it, that the party is over, but it has continued to regain that party mood. The NASDAQ kicked off March by hitting an intraday all-time high. And the S&P 500 has also been on a record-breaking rally. The Bank of America Global Research team lifting its year-end target for the S&P 500 to around 5,400. If I can try and get my so we've got quite a way to climb if you follow the Bank of America Global Research team. Later on in the week, we also have some earnings, although it's getting pretty quiet now. We've got Greggs, Reach, and Ashtead, and Travis Perkins might be interesting as well in terms of the DIY space. But in the US, it's Target that might be interesting because Target earlier, rather this session, has actually come out saying that it's expecting to post a drop in holiday quarter same-store sales. And this is the expectation, but investors think the chain may be able to boost sales and profits in this coming year. Showing you this chart here because Target is a really interesting chart to look at. If I show you the daily chart here, you can see this gap that happened around November last year. And that's when we saw Target's shares climb rather dramatically by almost 18% when its results beat expectations. It has been climbing since then. However, it has to be said that Target, like many US retailers, has been facing fierce competition from the likes of Chinese online retailers like Pinduoduo and also Temu. And that's your latest in your look ahead to Tuesday, the 5th of March 2024. For more analysis, do follow me on @AngelineOng on Twitter or @IGCom. This is IGTV.